Hello everyone, this is Kenneth Brenny from Cambridge Tech and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install SQL on your Windows machine. So you can do a Google search of download SQL and you go to the link I have over here as mysql.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Alright, so you are most likely to see this page and you would have to scroll down to you have this as MySQL community GPL downloads. So this is where you need to click, and once you click on this link you have a number of options over here. Now what you are looking out for is a MySQL community server. Click on this link and this will take you to this page. So clearly the system automatically detects that I'm using a Windows machine, so I'll click here, and what I need is this, so MSI installer on a 64-bit machine. So I'll say no thanks, just start my download, and the download will start. So I have this. So after the download is complete, I'll go into my downloads and there I have it, MySQL-installer-web community, and I'll open this up this way and the installation process will continue. So in here we have the installation wizard and we'll need to follow through. So I'll click on next and I'll click on next over here. Then I'll say yes over here. So it's going to execute all these things I have over here. So I'll click on execute. And this may take a while, but currently you can see that the download has begun and some are already completed. So basically you need all these dependencies to download in order to work with this properly. And at the end of the day, we are going to use the MySQL Workbench for this, so it's going to be okay for us. So now we have everything almost through. We are left with MySQL server to complete. Alright, so now that we are done, we'll click on next to start the installation process. Alright, so over here too, we click on execute and you can see that the installation has begun with MySQL server. It will continue to go through that and proceed to MySQL Workbench, then MySQL Shell, MySQL Router, and the rest of the other dependencies we have in there. Alright, so now that we have everything downloaded, you can see that the status for each and every one shows complete. So we are through with the installation. Now we will need to do some product configuration, so we'll click on next, and in here we'll click on next, and then these are some basic configurations. I think for now we'll leave everything to the default, so we'll click on next. And then in here we would also need to click on next, so we are being required to put in a password. So for starters, we definitely need a password over here. So this is going to be our root password. So we'll type in something over here. And we'll need to repeat that over here. Same password actually. So after which I'll click on next. It says the password strength is medium, which is okay. Then I'll click on next over here because I want to use the standard settings. Then finally I'll click on execute, and this is going to take some few seconds. So now that everything is through, I'll click on finish. Then finally I'll come and click on next over here. and also finish. Then next, then I need to type in my password over here, the one I inputted when I was doing the configuration. Then I'll click on check. I'll now need to click on next, and now we can click on execute, and now I'll click on finish. Inside of this, we can come and type in Workbench, and as you can see, we have the application over here. So I'll click on this to open it up. And then here we are with MySQL Workbench. So we'll click on this local instance, and we'll need to input the password we typed in there. So I'll type in my password, and I'll click on OK. So at this point, if everything is running correctly, you are definitely going to see this interface. There are a number of things we can do, but let's go to the left side and click on schema. So we can have this, and we can also click on this in order to expand. All right, so here we go, and we can type in create database, and then we give it a name. So you can say school, and put in a colon over here. So I mean a semicolon. So currently you can see that in our schema we don't have anything as school over here. We have the default database, and now when I click on this icon to execute, you can see that in the output it says create database school, and it shows that it is correct. So everything has been created. Now we don't see it over here because we need to do a refresh. So I'll click on this, and you can see that we now have school over here. So the database is now created. Now we can create in tables and things of that sort, and that's also very simple. So what I'll do is I can clear this. Now that we have the database created, I'm going to type in use, and that's me using the database school. So when I do this and run this, you are going to see that currently it is not highlighted, but then when I run this, you can see that it is now bolded. So you can see that I'm now using this database, and you can see that the output is also showing up over here as use database. So now I can now, I mean, every query I write over here will apply to the school database. So I'm going to say create table, and I'll give it a name, and the name I'm going to say over here is student. And inside of a parenthesis, I'll type in the fields that I will need over here. So for instance, a student in a table will have an ID. So I'll type in ID, and the data type is going to be an integer, and I'm going to say it's going to be a primary key. I would also need a field for name. I think name is a keyword over here. So let me use first name, and good. So first name is looking good, and varchar, and age is also an int. Now I seem to have a problem over here, and that's because varchar has to have the number of characters in here. So what I can do is I'll do a bracket, and I'll put in 100 over here because I need a maximum of 100 characters for my first name. So I'll select everything and run this, and you can see that we don't seem to have any problem over here. The table has been created, and when I click on this and rather come and refresh, and when I open this up, you can see that we have the student table in students. Now I can click on this, or right click and go to select 100 rows, and currently I don't have anything in here, but clearly we can see that we have our ID, our first name, and our age column showing up. But the objective of this video is to show you the download and installation process. Now in subsequent videos, I'm going to release SQL videos and how to work with database. Alright, so this is going to be the end of this video. Now you find this tutorial very interesting, there are a couple of ways you can help me grow my channel. Kindly subscribe to Tech and don't forget to hit the notification button so that anytime I release a video, you'll be duly notified. Also share this video with friends and family who will find this content very useful. At Tech, we say learn programming. You can do it. Bye bye and catch you in the next video.